Nene Leaks is at it again, y'all, and we got to talk about Cherie Zampino dispelling those FBI rumors. Oh, yes. Let's get all up into the tea, but make sure Sky Squad, we back in the building. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. We will be back with the new texting community number soon. But right now, we got to get into this tea that is piping hot, okay? So today, Nene Leaks unleashed on the Twitter, okay? She had this to say: I am happy I was able to help all the other Black women get job opportunities that are working for them. He stopped me from working because I was a threat to his career, yet he was able to abuse me for years. I want to release these recordings so bad. So let's take a look at that and just analyze it for a second. There's a he here who she is talking about that many believe to be Andy Cohen. Many news outlets believe this as well, because as you guys know, Nene Leaks is in the midst of a lawsuit between her, Andy Cohen, Bravo TV, NBC Universal, and the producers of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, citing discrimination. Now, again, the he that she is referring to, she says he stopped me from working because I was a threat to his career. Yet he was able to abuse me for years. Now, one of the things that Nene pointed out in her lawsuit was that Nene said Andy and the network went out of their way to blackball her in the industry after she spoke out about the incidents. She said they refused to let her work on other projects, unlike other cast members, and Nene pointed to a specific deal she was working on with Sirius XM Radio. She said Andy interfered with and sabotaged this effort. So at that point, it was stated in the suit that Cohen has admitted that he told SiriusXM that Mrs. Leaks would demand a lot of money for any role on a radio show, an obvious effort to prevent her from getting such a deal. Okay? Now, that could be the he that she is referring to. Then she goes on to say, I want to release these voice recordings so bad. So that led me to wonder, what are the voice recordings of? Are they of conversations that she has had, with individuals at the network? Because if she was in the state of Georgia at the time, I believe that Georgia is, and you guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that you can play recordings or record someone without their consent as long as one person consents, meaning the person recording, in the state of Georgia, I believe. But I don't know if that would help or hurt her case in this situation. But I do want to know what these recordings are, because these recordings seem to corroborate whatever it is that she is alleging here, okay? Then she goes on to say, I believe she actually said this first. She says, they stop every opportunity that comes my way. Was there another opportunity that has popped up over the course of these past couple of weeks? Because we know that she finished out her run on College Hill Celebrity Edition. Was there something else that was coming down the pipeline that was, I don't know, maybe preventing her from being able to do more work? That would be interesting to find out. So then she retweeted some other things that said, Andy used you until he wanted to kick you to the curb and then slander you so you couldn't obtain any further work. It's so disappointing, and it is definitely different than how he treats other housewives he disagrees with or has parted ways with. So then Nene retweeted someone else who says she was on Potomac, so it's not just Nene. I'm assuming they're referring to Monique Samuels, but I do know that Monique and Andy are in a good place, so I'm not necessarily sure what they were referring to with that. But the commenter says a lot of these women are afraid of what he could do to their careers. That's why they are being silent. I am proud of Nene Leakes for taking a stand and saying enough is enough. And Nene retweeted this. Another commenter said, we gonna forget how Kim Z and Croy both hit the cameraman back in season 5 when Kim left the restaurant. So Nene is, putting this information out, retweeting this information. And my question is, to what end? Obviously, as a grown adult, she can tweet whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying? But usually I always ask, what are you promoting? So what I mean by that is I had a PR person once ask me that, like when talking about things that you tweet or that you post on Instagram or social media, and then think about how it reflects on you as a person or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve from a business perspective, right? And so I always think to myself, what is it that you are promoting here? So what is the objective behind the tweets? Is it just to vent frustrations? Is it to get out the emotions? Is it to let people know what's happening to her and why maybe we're not seeing her? I would be interested in finding out. I wish that she could sit down and do a real, just tell all interview to tell it all. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, it's just kind of more cryptic tweets. Now, I kind of want to move on to Miss Cherie Zampino. So she's done an interview with Bryce Sander from Entertainment Tonight. And she is dispelling the rumors that were out there. And I had seen these rumors, but I hadn't really reported on them because I just didn't know, where they came from. And sometimes I'm just not even interested in certain stories, to be quite honest with you, because I just don't know, enough information about it. But apparently, people had been coming at her and questioning Cherie on social media because as she's a former first lady of a church, she sometimes opens up her Cash App to followers who want to sow into the word because she typically gives, inspirational advice on her Instagram. And then they were coming for her online boutique, which they allege sells designer inspired merchandise. And then I guess there were claims that the FBI is looking into Cherie's business for selling knockoff goods. Cherie is shutting all of that down. So she says to Bryce, this is the thing. I think you have to take it all. I think people sometimes read things and believe what they read. They don't do any research. They take everything at face value and it's unfair and we can all do better. Let's try to at least try to understand the story a little bit. With the boutique, who doesn't? It's a trickle down effect. The things that I sell are designer inspired. Nothing has a logo. Nothing is stamped with the designer name. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's crazy. But I'm like, okay, welcome to the Housewives. Here we go. I knew it was a matter of time. I didn't think it was going to be this soon because I'm still a friend. I mean, here it goes. She says, and then the tithing thing, I will say that if it doesn't make sense to you, what happens is when I do these inspirational messages, a lot of people reach out to me and say, I want to sow into the word. What's your Cash App? What we understand what sowing is. So if you don't sow, you don't reap. It's a spiritual concept, but it's a universal thing. It's sowing and reaping. It's karma. It's the same thing, but we understand it differently. So for people that don't understand it, you don't have to. We know that if you put seed in good ground, you reap, and it's coming into agreement with something, but people that don't understand it just don't do it, right? So, she also dispels that whole thing about being bitten by a rat at Lisa Rinna's place. That's not true either. So essentially, for me, it sounds like she's doing what a lot of other online boutiques do, is sell designer inspired merchandise, which, I mean, what outlet doesn't do that at this point? You know what I'm saying? Also, too, in terms of people wanting to send her Cash Apps because she's delivering a word to them, I really don't mind it because, I mean, I look at it the same as somebody sending in a super chat on the YouTube or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you if you into what somebody's saying, you want to sow into their ministry or however you want to look at it, or into whatever they doing. That's what you do, and that's it. Point blank, full stop, period. If you don't like it, don't do it, right? That's just my thing. But I'm more of a live and let live type of person. Like, I don't really care much about what you're doing, as long as you're not harming yourself or nobody else. What you choose to do with your money, how you choose to spend it, more power to you. Because for me, I feel like give as faithfully as you want to the things, the people, and the places that you believe in, period. So with that being said, that's the news for today. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills does air tonight. So we'll see hopefully more of Cherie Zampino tonight. And we will look forward to hearing what exactly Nene Leakes has to say at some point in time in the future. All right. With that being said, later.